How long do these go?
I don't know.
20 minutes?
It can be.
Okay. 20 hours?
I think the longest I've done is like an hour.
Talk about the real shit.
All the real stuff. Real stuff. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, take her easy there, Pilgrim.
Boy, I got vision and the rest of the world wears bifocals.
Well, son, since you haven't learned to respect your elders, it's time you learn to respect your betters.
It is, I think, going to be a very harsh and unpleasant kind of business, and will, I think, require an extremely harsh and unpleasant kind of man to see to it.
I'm your huckleberry.
Sip your water.
I haven't had a birthday party since I was 11.
My parents, when I was in high school, tried to throw me multiple surprise birthday parties in a row, like consecutive years. I think it was like 3 years in a row. Every year it was like they tried to make it a surprise.
How old were you?
I was like 16, 17, 18.
Were you just embarrassed the whole time?
No, I wasn't embarrassed. Like, it was fine. It was just funny that it was like every year's a surprise birthday
year.
party. Every year.
I did have a surprise party once when I was in college. That my
Okay.
friends threw me, but most of I was only in Chicago in college for like 2.5 years, so I didn't have like a huge amount of friends there. So the chick who I was really good friends with, who like planned the party, just invited a bunch of people I kind of knew from class, and it was extremely awkward because everyone was like, "Happy birthday, Steve!" Right?
Like, thanks, guys.
I was like, God, fucking kill me.
What's like the worst birthday party you've ever had?
The worst birthday party I've ever
Or
had.
been to? Because like I don't think I've had like terrible birthdays. I've had boring ones.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've had I mean, there was like when we were really young, some kid shit himself at grade skate, which was a problem for him, and it was his party.
It was his party?
It was his party, and he went into the bathroom and just like didn't come out for like an hour, and the adults were trying to coax him out, and we hadn't done presents or cake, so everyone was like real aware of
It
it.
hasn't even started. It's like the guy that gets too drunk at the wedding before it starts.
And then he came out wearing like different pants and shit, and I think it was a real issue for the adults. I don't really remember much of it other than making fun of him in school, but I mean, it was like second grade. I've shit myself so much. I've probably like upwards of 8 times as an adult.
Like just farting?
no,
sharding?
just like not making it to the toilet.
Oh, wow, really?
But yeah, I mean, it's second grade. Everyone does that, but I guess no one's going to admit it.
I did not. I never like crap myself in class. Thank God. I never like peed myself in class. Thank God. I never like threw up or anything. I'm trying to think. I like bled a few times.
Yeah,
Just, like,
I'd get the
getting-
bloody noses.
Bloody noses or like doing stupid stuff at recess. Like I hit my head really hard one time, and like I was bleeding a lot out of the back of my head, and I was like in 3rd grade. But the thing about it's like the weird kid in my elementary school, the weird kid threw the coolest parties. They like Pokemon cards were in your gift bag.
Oh, fuck
if
yeah.
you went to this kid's parties, but everybody didn't like him anyway. Like nobody really cared. They're like, God, so and so.
So his parents knew he was a loser and were just trying to bribe
Maybe they
people.
just were like, oh, cool, it's a lot of little kids, everyone's friends, probably, maybe. It's like, that's not how it works, dude.
I think you know if your kid's a loser.
I mean, I don't have any, so I don't know. You probably get like a vibe, like if they're like doing nothing, like most Friday nights or like Saturdays, or like don't hang out with anybody, or you could just like look at their friends and be like, oh, that kid.
My parents knew. They tried to like have me come out to their adult like New Year's Eve parties because no one invited me out to theirs in high school. And my mom would just call me and be like, "Are you sure you don't want to come out? Everyone's asking where you are." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to hang out with your 40-year-old friends." She's like, "I just feel so bad. You're always home alone. You don't ever really socialize." And I was like, "You're making me feel a whole lot better about it, Mom."
Was it a choice though, or you just like you didn't want to hang because you were like probably were kind of edgy in high school?
There were like 2 years in the middle of high school, like sophomore and junior year, where I didn't really hang out with many people at all or have many friends. It's like freshman year I came in with a lot of friends, and by like the time senior year hit, I'd
lost them
sort
all?
of found my new group. But yeah, it was like that transitional phase where and also like, I don't know, I had friends who just weren't doing anything on like Friday nights. We didn't necessarily have big old parties out in St. Charles, Missouri.
I'm trying to think like what the biggest like how would you handle your kid like being not that they have to be cool, but it's just like, you know, if he's gonna stay at home and like not have friends, at least like be an artist or something. Like if he does something like, or he or she does something like that, it's like, all right, that's a little bit more like acceptable. I could tolerate that. But like if they're just like at home, headphones, talking to like a bunch of like dudes playing video games the whole time, I guess that's what they do now though.
That's all they do. They're not allowed to go outside anymore. My kids are not going to be losers. They're going to be way cooler than me, I think.
Well,
That's
you
how
have
it
to like
goes.
recognize how not cool you are in the first place, and then like then you can go from there and like really like mold them. Be like, oh man, I remember when I did this and that was not cool. Make sure they know to not do that, and that's not cool.
I think I have a lot of mistakes they can learn from.
What, are you gonna tell them about all of them?
Oh yeah, I think I'll be honest. My parents were always like weirdly okay with shit. Like my older sister was like a complete party animal, and she just got away with whatever. Like I was allowed to drink in the house at 15, so you'd think I would have been a lot more popular, and people would have wanted to come over and drink.
Stevens to get alcohol.
But even that wasn't enough of a bribe at 15 and 16. But
Did you try it ever? Did you try to use that as a bribe?
Yeah, here and there.
Guys, like, you know, and my mom like lets us drink.
Yeah.
As long as you just like stay at the house, you know.
I mean, I had a few people come over. I always had girlfriends who wanted to hang out, so it wasn't. Yeah, it
Wait,
wasn't the worst thing.
But you were also like a loser.
It feels like a weird contradiction looking back on it, yeah. But yeah, there was always at least one girl I could trick into hanging out with me every night for like 8 months straight.
How'd you do it?
I don't know. I think I just had
There is
no
like a
idea of
witting like
cringe.
charm about you that like you can like swoon some people pretty well. You're a swooner. You can swoon.
I think 1 in 10 people just doesn't understand that I'm completely full of shit, and
Well, you're not
they
always
fall
full
for
of
it.
shit. Like, what do you mean, like swooning? I guess is swooning like pumping people full of shit.
Okay, my big high school
so. I think
emo
that's exactly
girlfriend,
what it is.
like when I met her at an event, I just like kissed her hand, like trying to just be over the top hitting on her to be funny, like as a joke, because I didn't know
It
what
was
else to
ironic.
do. Yeah, it was semi-ironic. She didn't understand that or take it that way, and so she just wanted to hang out all the time. I was like, all right, fine, I'll roll with this, and we were boyfriend and girlfriend then.
Okay, so it wasn't just like you, like a random girl. It was like you guys eventually like were a thing.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty funny. But I don't. I would say I don't know like if I like knew my kid was like a weirdo. I would just observe like what kind of weird he was and be like, all right, well if he's doing that, it's gonna, you know, I don't want him to be one of them Korean kids that die from playing StarCraft, like 72 hours. Well, especially with like e-learning now. Imagine like the high school kids that like get to stay at home on Zoom days or the other days. And, like, what they're doing with their time.
Dude, the second graders I know, because Cassie teaches second grade, my wife, and she, like, they don't do anything on Zoom. Half the time they don't even log in, and they just get counted as absent, and then their parents, like, throw a fit, and they're like, why does my kid have 8 absences? It's like, I don't know, they were playing Fortnite all day, I guess. Where were you?
I was working. That's kind of like... I don't play. I played a little bit of Call of Duty today, Warzone, and I don't really like them too much anymore. It's like they're so complicated. Too much stuff is into them. You have to like wait so long for like anything to happen.
Well, and we're too old.
Are you sure?
Pro gamers, like the pro gamers, the people who go on like ESPN or whatever, they age out at like 18. It's like
They
the
like
max
age
age you can
out.
be.
It's not like NFL where they're like physically like.
You need those reaction times. Whatever it is about the 16-year-old ADD brain that can play Fortnite really good, you can't do it past 18. And I'm 29, so I'm way past being good at video games.
I just lost interest in like really playing them a lot. I mean, I still will every once in a while, but I don't play like I used to. I was freaking like on them all the time.
Yeah. Well,
But I had a healthy balance.
You got stuff to do now. Like you have a job and a life.
But I also just like get on one and I'm just like, play for like 20 minutes.
Do you think if you went back and played like old Call of Duty, it would still be fun? Like, do you think you've changed or the games have changed?
I think a little bit of both. I think a little bit of both. I think it's like if I spend too much time playing a video game, I'm like, oh man, I should like really be like doing something or something. But like back then, I was just like, also, well, I would call in sick to a school a lot. Call in sick. I would just fake sick, and
You could call yourself into school?
no, I'd just be like, oh, I just don't feel like going today, Mom. And she's like, all right, have a car to ski. And then I would just sit in my room, and I had 2 TVs, and I'd watch Seinfeld all day, and I would play like Oblivion or Far Cry or Call of Duty, and like I was just like feeding my sensory levels.
That's how you create ADD in the brain. That's absurd that you had 2 TVs in your room.
I'd have 2 TVs going, and I'd be like watching like Seinfeld, but also like walking around in like caverns, like in Oblivion, like.
I wasn't allowed anything in my room. Like
Oh, what?
my parents never bought me a TV. I ended up in middle school, found one on the side of the road, like an old tube TV, and I brought that in, and I hijacked their cable signal. Like I ran a cable
parents?
wire, yeah, from
Oh, so you had a
where
secret
their little
TV.
box was. They knew I had a TV in there. I don't think they knew I had cable in there, and I just ran like a little cable from their cable box. So if I wanted to change the channel, I'd have to go into the living room, and I had to buy like a used computer for $100. That was the slowest piece of crap ever, and I didn't buy Windows for it because when you boot up, I didn't know you had to buy Windows, and you just boot it up and be like, click this link to go to the website and buy Windows, and I'd click the link and then I'd redirect it. Oh shit. Sorry. I'd redirect it to Facebook, and then I'd use Facebook to open Photoshop, and Photoshop to open
Oh my
programs.
gosh!
So I
You
just,
did like really like
I never paid for anything.
troubleshoot.
I did have to do a lot of like build your own fun. My parents had money, they just did not want to spend it on electronics for me.
Like what about Legos and stuff? Did you have like any action figures growing up?
I got dollar store GI Joe.
Oh, dude, that was the worst one. He was not opposable at all, like elbows and all. He just like moved his arm straight.
No, he was basically just like a plastic, like the little green army man. He was just bigger and painted. And
Oh, it
that's
wasn't
what
even
I
the
got.
fancier one that
No,
comes
no,
with
he,
equipment.
He wasn't opposable. He didn't have interchangeable equipment, and that's what I don't understand why my parents were so stingy
Dude,
with gifts.
I got so many GI Joes. I got so many toys when I was a kid. I don't know why. I had so many Star Wars toys. I had so many Legos.
I had a fair few Legos.
I was definitely like a toy spoiled. I had like so many of the big GI Joes and the little GI Joes.
I didn't know they came in different sizes.
They came. Oh yeah, it was. I was definitely. I had a lot. I would have like elaborate like special ops scenes like played out throughout my room and stuff, where like some guy was getting hanged and then like some sniper guy had to like shoot him from like being hung, and then there was all these. Oh, it was ridiculous.
Did you ever make movies with them as a kid? 'Cause that's
No.
kind of what you do now.
I just would like imagine movies in my head because it's like, wait, I'm gonna learn how to do stop motion when I'm like 9.
I would literally take my parents' like VHS camcorder and just move the figures with my hands on screen.
Oh, yeah, I never
anytime.
did that.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't thought of doing that.
anytime I could get my hands on a camera. It was
You would-
basically
you
that's
would
all
do
I
that?
do for weeks until they took it away for some reason. Told me I needed to go play soccer.
Well, because they had to take it on their anniversary vacation.
Oh God, that is my nightmare. I am digitizing all my parents' old home movies right now. My nightmare is that I'm gonna find some parental sex tape, and I'm just never gonna be able to see my parents again.
You'll never be able to see him again.
I don't think so.
You knew it happened.
Well, they're gonna be very mad
At
when it
least
ends up
3
on
times.
Pornhub. So
Oh gosh. There was one time we were watching game film after a football game, and like the coach like turned. I was like, oh well, this is nothing, and it was like him like it was like a beach, like him like recording a beach, and it was, like you turn around and you just like see his wife, and he's like, oh no, we'll turn this off.
was it anything racy, or they were
No,
just on the
but-
beach?
It's like funny. It's like what could have been there, you know? What was Coach doing with his wife?
Well, we've found some things at a workplace that I guess I shouldn't disclose publicly. We had to digitize some tapes, and another friend who you know found an old sex tape that was recorded in a closet
Whoa!
that was just stored on old LTO tapes,
I don't know anything about this.
and it looked like it was the participants both did not know they were being filmed. Like it was set up inside a closet.
Whoa.
There's these old tape archives, like they're almost kind of creepy. Like I get a horror movie vibe when I'm digitizing stuff because you never know what the next thing's gonna be.
I can't
Just turn it
imagine
into
what
a
was
stuff
like
film.
what's on my freaking DV tapes from when I was like in middle school. I did so much weird stuff.
Do you still have them?
No, I'm not. Even if I did, I wouldn't give them to you.
Oh, come on, we'll digitize them. We'll do it in the office.
I don't even think I have them. I think I threw them all away. I don't know.
Oh, that's a waste.
It's there. I think they're long gone because I would also just re-record over them too, and that would make the quality get like even worse and worse over time. And I didn't really know that. I didn't care, but I made so many like little videos when we were like in middle school and stuff, and it was just kind of like half of them were like, oh god. We're really weird.
I have yet to find my old DV tapes. I know they exist somewhere, and I know they should be burned from middle school and high school. God knows what's on them.
I just remember throwing them out throughout the years, like finding one and be like, I don't need that anymore. Like the videos we have are like on one of the computers here, so they're here somewhere. But
I can't ever throw out any media. I'm like, even like videos I made in high school for class projects.
no, they're fun.
I don't throw
they're
them
fun
out.
to have. I've got like everything.
Like
except
PowerPoint
one.
presentations.
There's one video that I lost. PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah, I keep PowerPoint presentations.
What was your favorite PowerPoint presentation?
I have an answer for that. It's not even close. It was my foods class PowerPoint presentation.
Naturally.
Yeah, we took foods class in senior year, me and my friend Kyle, and the teacher could not have given less of a shit about the class at all, and we had to do a cultural presentation, like talk about the foods and the culture of Mexico. And we sat down, and in an hour, we just made up every slide. Just made them up. Did not do any research, and they were horribly offensive. Like Mexican, we chose Mexico, and it was Mexican culture, and we said Selene Dion is the most famous Mexican singer.
Selene.
We Google translated the lyrics from "My Heart Will Go On" into Spanish and read them aloud. For currency, we said Mexico has no official currency. They trade goats, cows, and chickens for rudimentary forms of, in air quotes, milk. And like just nonstop nonsense.
That's just a good troll too.
We got a C. We got a C. There was not a single fact. We got a C because we brought in Taco Bell for extra credit.
Oh, so it was extra credit. So it was already like a D upper F, but you got extra credit for Taco Bell?
Yeah. And she let the class grade, and she had segregated the class. This is the weirdest teacher.
We're not supposed to do that anymore.
No, if anyone listening goes and she segregates her class. All the black kids had to sit at one table together. And it was assigned seating. It wasn't.
You have to sit there all year.
They all had their own unit too.
I don't even want to get into it.
No. I'm not saying it was okay. I was just saying it was really offensive, and people definitely had a problem with it. Like when the class seat assignment came out on day one, like I remember one kid sat down and he looked around and he
It's like,
realized,
we're not even like in the same part of the alphabet. Why are we sitting here like this?
I just remember him going, "What is this shit?" And she was like, I just worked it out. But
We had our foods class. Me and my friend made groups. We were seniors, and then we forced these 3 freshmen to work with us, and we were just really mean to them.
that's the classic. You just make them do all the dishes.
We made them buy the food. We'd come up with like super ridiculous recipes and demand that they buy us the food for it. And they did, and we were so mean to them, and it was really funny. It was bullying, I guess. I don't know what they would call it these days, but whatever. They're
gotta
fine.
do a
I'm
little
actually still
bullying.
really good friends with one of them today.
No, bullying's
So-
good for little kids, I think.
I think so.
We used to have a cook your own meal day in foods class, but we had block scheduling in my school. So classes were an hour and a half long.
Okay.
And so we'd bring in a box of Velveeta, and then we'd cook it in 15 minutes and sit there for an hour and 15 minutes and do nothing. And I got an A in that class.
Hey, public education,
We got our money's worth.
I'm all right.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
turned out great.
My GPA was okay.
What'd you get?
What'd you get?
I think by the end, I probably had a 3.8 because I took some college classes.
I had 2.7.
2.7. What'd you get on the ACT?
Oh, dude, I didn't even study for it.
What'd you get?
I got a 21. I just like I knew I was gonna go to community college, and I hated like math. I was not like I was just lazy. I could have like probably been like smarter. I was just super lazy and did not care. I invested like all my time in like the extracurriculars.
I took it super seriously, which
I did
stupidly
not.
enough, I was like, oh, if I want to get into film school, they're really going to care about my ACT. Because I knew I was going to community college too. I got a 28, which was the lowest in my family.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a disappointment.
Whatever. I mean, I didn't think I wasn't like super. I was just like, I know I'm gonna go to like community college. I don't really care about this right now. I don't like whatever. It didn't affect. Like I did good in community college and like regular college, so like it was fine.
That's the big lie. That you
It-
don't
it's-
realize when you're in high school how little everything you're doing there is going to matter. If the second you get into college, nothing you've ever done in your life
It
matters.
doesn't. It's like they always like said like put your extracurriculars on your like college resume and stuff and like all this stuff, and like it didn't matter. It made no difference.
I think the extracurriculars matter more than the grades.
No, I just like didn't try super hard. There were some classes I cared about that I was like, this is fun. Like I want to like do well, like all those fun like assignments where you make videos and stuff. But like I just didn't like really care that much. I just like wanted to do other stuff.
What are your kids' names?
My kids' names?
Yeah, what are you going to name them? Have you picked this out yet?
No, I don't have anybody to pick them out with yet.
Oh, no, you got to have an idea before you get into the relationship. This is first date stuff.
Really? Butch?
Butch Heath?
Yeah.
Well, I guess he'll probably hyphenate. You think your wife's going to hyphenate the last name?
Barf in a
Give 'em
barf
both?
bag? No. No way.
Butch Heath. You should name him Keith. Keith Heath?
Keith Heath. Somebody, are you the one that always says that? Or has somebody else said that to me before?
I think we've discussed it before, but
Isn't Keith... No, that's the Keystone-like guy, right?
oh yeah, Keith Stone.
Keith Stone.
Yeah,
Okay.
Keith Stone.
Not
Heath.
Keith. I'm not naming my kid Keith Heath.
Okay, well,
Aragorn?
Aragorn Heath.
No.
You should give him a really lame middle name though, like Aragorn Ted Heath.
I know people named Ted, and is that supposed to be a really lame name?
Well, it's a lame name next to Aragorn. Like if it was the Fellowship of the Ring was Aragorn, Legolas, and Ted, one of those would stand out.
My cousin always made these jokes about like white trash names for the Lord of the Rings people. It's like Gregulus,
Legolas,
like Garygorn.
Aragorn.
One of my favorites was Dandalf.
Oh, that's
man.
funny shit.
Yeah, that is funny.
Which cousin is this?
This is Justin. We used to talk about that.
Do I know Justin? Oh, this is
You-
the
I
one who
think you
lives by
might-
the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell it was your family because they had their favorite ice cream shop picked out. That's how you identify.
We don't even. I don't even like ice cream that much. I'm not an ice creamist guy.
Ice creamist.
I don't. I have sensitive. I always grew up with sensitive teeth, so I just didn't eat ice cream because it would always hurt.
You had sensitive baby teeth.
No, I have sensitive human teeth now.
As a baby, did you have sensitive teeth?
Yeah.
You said you grew up, so you had sensitive teeth just forever.
Yeah, I just have them now. Sometimes like it depends on like toothpaste I use too.
That's really weird, man.
No, yeah, it's like I can't like I don't want to like chew ice or anything. If people like chew ice or like people just like take huge sips of like cold things, like it makes me like cringe. That's like a thing.
No, dude, I love cold on the teeth.
That's why I don't like.
Chew
I don't
ice
always like
cubes.
put my sodas in the refrigerator because I don't like need them to be cold.
It's that sensitive.
Not always. I think I just got used to not eating cold stuff all the time or like really digging into it. So I just like now I don't notice it as much as I used to, but I know it's still there sometimes.
You get used to it quick. I know you've been to Germany, and I've been to Germany where they don't put any ice in their beverages like savages.
You have to ask, and it's extra.
yeah,
It's like you pay for ice.
It's extra, and they look at you like a weirdo. It's like, obviously, you get American tourists. It's like the best country ever, and we go everywhere.
And we
Don't
put
look at me like I'm a
frozen
weirdo.
water in our beverages to make them colder.
Yeah, because we're innovators and we're winners. All right, and so don't give me the attitude. They give me so much attitude in Germany.
Did they? Oh yeah, in Germany.
Yeah.
France was like way nicer. France was way better, and we didn't go to like any cities. We were just kind of like on the like in the rural areas
In the country,
with all like the little villages where there were like everybody like it was just a small group of people and everybody knew everybody.
did they speak any English?
Oh yeah, they did. Like all of them did. Yeah.
I've
Like,
heard
it
that
was,
the French will like refuse to speak
I
English
do-
to you.
everybody was super nice to us. And like we like got invited to like people's property and like hang out in people's houses, and like people had like get-togethers and they invited us and stuff, and it was like this one couple like let us like camp out in their yard and stuff. It was really nice.
Everyone in the countryside when I went to Italy was very nice to me, and everyone in the cities looked like they were like one word away from punching me in the face. The other thing they get annoyed with is if you try and like take change from their hand or hand them coins.
When did you try to steal money from them?
No. Like at a store, like if you give them change or if they have to give you change, they want you to put it in this little like bucket and then you grab it so you're not touching their hands. But you're touching the bucket which everyone's hands are going in. So I don't understand it. It seems pretty stupid. And I got told about that as I was going to Italy. You know, my friend Yana was like, oh, don't do this when you're here. And I was like, that's got to be made up. That's like a made-up tourist thing because there's no way they stick to that every day. It's really annoying. But they got mad at me. Like, they yelled at me in Italian.
Do not touch my hand. What are you doing? You're touching my hand. You gross Americano.
Mozzarella tortilla, you know.
Oh, what's the Italian dollar? What is it called?
Oh, I'm blanking on it now.
Procurori.
Yeah, the pepperoni, I think.
The procurori. The pepperoni.
Hold on.
How many pepperonis do you have?
What's the Italian currency? I'm gonna feel like
bringing
an idiot.
Siri
It's
in
like
this
the
now.
euro.
Is it? What's probably the euro now?
I found an answer.
Yeah.
It's displayed on your iPhone.
Oh yeah, they use the euro now.
Yeah, but
which
what
they
was it
use the whole
before?
time. I don't know. Well, Siri's useless.
Because they all had before the union, didn't they all have their own
Yeah, they all had their own
francs?
Deutschmarks, francs, and
With the British pounds.
pounds. Well, they still use pounds in Britain.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they're. Although they're probably, I guess they'll stop if they ever rejoin the EU because they had a whole Brexit over there.
I don't think it's like completely done with yet, though.
Yeah, but they're like, I mean, it's underway.
That's good.
They're on their way to Brexit.
But yeah, Germany. Yeah, the cities. Well, we didn't really go to any cities in France. We landed in Paris and like immediately got out.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were in Germany, we were like kind of like in between that like rural area and then like the cities, and like the cities were like weird.
Dude, yeah.
There was like a music festival in one city one night, and we just like walked through, and it was just kind of like I just got like weird vibes. And maybe that's just me, but I don't know. I wasn't super into it.
Now, to clarify what you meant by weird, because I did some camping out there, did you mean overly friendly? Like certain people maybe wanted to hang out with you in a weird way?
We did hang out.
Like couples?
We did hang out with some. I got like really drunk with a couple, and like we just like hung out and talked and stuff, and then like I don't know, like nobody tried to like hit on me or anything.
So you weren't getting weird swinger vibes?
We didn't talk to too many people. I didn't talk to like 18. I just like we met this like one really nice young couple that was probably like about my age, and then we just like sat there talking all night. And like I don't know, maybe if I was like, hey, you guys want to like have a international, but I didn't, and they didn't like really like. I didn't get any vibes from them being like, oh, we want this American to come and blah.
Maybe I was being paranoid, but I got a very weird swinger vibe from a lot of German people.
Well,
They never asked me directly, but I just got the vibe that they wanted to hang
and
out
I
with us
don't
too
doubt.
much.
Like I feel like if you get the vibe, something probably is like kind of like weird or something. I don't know.
Well, it didn't help. I was really hot when I went to Germany.
You were hot.
Oh God, yeah.
You were like 40 pounds lighter than you are now.
I was probably 50 pounds lighter than I am now. Dude. I was wearing
pretty hot.
small t-shirts.
You're wearing small t-shirts.
Adult
I don't think
smalls.
I've ever worn a small t-shirt. I think when I was a child, I didn't wear small t-shirts.
Oh yeah, dude. I was running a bunch, and I was like, you could kind of see.
You also have
abs.
like that like European kind of like face.
I had the blonde hair, which wasn't receding at the time. I didn't have any acne. I somehow have more acne now than when I was younger.
How old were you when you went?
Oh gosh, how old was I? I was probably 21.
Yeah, I was like 20. I was like 22.
Yeah, I think I might have been 20. I don't know.
I was like dating a girl at the time, and it sucked because there were some like hot like European girls that were like, oh hey, like talking to me and stuff, and like the guy that I was there with, he was like, you should go like talk to that girl, and like she seems like she's really interested in you. I'm like, no, dude, I got a girlfriend, bro, because I'm gonna be in Europe again someday, and I'm gonna like
I'll come right back.
I'll come right back and hang out. But then like I think about it, and it's like, well, I'm not like a cheatist or anything, but like. It's like I wish I wasn't like dating somebody when I went over there.
Well, you can't know when you're dating someone that it's gonna
We're
fall
gonna
apart
do
6
this
months down the
forever,
line.
Kitty.
Yeah, or you at least got to approach it with the attitude that that's possible. That's why you can't be a cheatist.
No, so whatever. It was fine. It wasn't like a huge deal, but it was funny because I was like, oh my god.
I didn't get hit on a lot by individual girls, but I was traveling with a girl, so they probably thought, something there.
What were you there for?
I was just there to hang out.
Oh, you just were like, that's like the start of a scary movie.
Yeah, my friend Yana lives over there, and she was like, hey, come visit, and we drove around in her van between Germany and Italy for like 2 weeks. My flight was delayed a whole day because of weather, so I got to see The Dark Knight Rises before I left.
In German?
No, in American. Like, I was supposed to leave, and I ended up leaving a day later because of weather. And so as I left the airport, I just got a cab to the movie theater and watched The Dark Knight Rises. It's the weirdest. Little things stick.
That's when you were 21?
I don't know.
Dark Knight Rises came out when we were like 15 or like 14.
No.
Yes,
You're thinking of The Dark Knight. We have this conversation all the time.
Oh,
The Dark
that's
Knight
right. All the
Rises is the
superhero
very
movies are
one.
all the same to me.
Yeah. No, the jokest is in The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight Rises. Best 3.5, 4 hours of your life.
Oh my god, it was horrible. Well, Anne Hathaway's pretty hot.
She's
in
pretty
it.
hot,
Yeah,
man.
so there's that.
Can't help it, you can't help it.
And I saw it in IMAX. Okay.
I think I saw the night one, the other night one, the one that doesn't rise.
The Dark Knight doesn't rise.
The Dark Knight, yeah, the Dark Knight in IMAX, and it was pretty like crazy. It was like wow.
Dude, IMAX was the shit for a while.
I didn't do it enough to be like, this is awesome. I didn't even like doing 3D movies. When Avatar came out and it was 3D, I was just like, I'm not into this. I'm getting a headache.
I thought it was real cool when it first came out. Like, I saw Prometheus in IMAX 3D.
IMAX 3D?
Loved it. Dude, the IMAX 3D is like huge and it's right around you. You don't get like that screen barrier thing with the 3D, because the screen kind of surrounds you. So it's like close to VR.
I didn't really do it enough. I never did the 3D option. The only other movie I'd ever seen in 3D besides Avatar was the animated Beowulf movie.
Why?
That's what everybody was gonna see that day that I was hanging out with, so we went and saw that.
Just a ton of friends really into Beowulf.
I didn't even know what it was, and then like I actually read the story later on in life, and it's really cool.
It's like super old, isn't it?
It's like it's apparently like the first ever like recorded like piece of literature, like something like that.
And they're still remaking it.
And it's not even like, it's like, how hard is it? What I don't understand when these like people make these movies based on old stuff, it's like, how hard is it to actually just like take verbatim what happens in the old story and make it, instead of like make everything different? You know what I mean? Like how they just like change certain things sometimes.
Well, they don't want to. I think that comes out of the pitch process. Because how are you going to get Beowulf greenlit if you're just being like, yeah, this story that's 3,000 years old, we're going to do it exactly like it is. No one's going to give you money for that. You got to be like, it's going to be animated. You know how kids love animated
Well, that's
stuff.
okay if it's animated. I'm just saying, like, the story changes and, like, some of the plot things or whatever. It's like, why wouldn't they just, like, keep that the same? Like, why would that not be, like, why does that have to be any different?
This is some old dude in Hollywood who has all the money and says, I'll greenlight Beowulf if you include these 5 things that are really popular.
Robert
right now.
Zemeckis, please put this in the movie, because I'm pretty sure he made that movie.
Zemeckis made it?
Yeah, I think so.
I like Zemeckis.
It wasn't like I liked the movie. I just like it was just one of the only 3D movies I'd ever seen. That and Avatar. I'm pretty sure.
Have you ever done the VR?
Like in the movie theater?
No, just like put on the VR.
I've done
game.
the VR thing. I haven't like played games with VR, but like I've like done the walk around thing. Where you can walk around and it's like shows you a room or something.
Next time you're at my house, I gotta jack you into my VR setup.
Check me in, like it's like
The Matrix.
The Matrix.
Dude, it's the coolest thing ever.
Have you played games on it?
Oh yeah, I played Fallout 4 in VR. I have this one called Super Hot. It's awesome. It's a little shooter. It's just walking around a room and picking stuff up is fun.
I keep seeing this like one VR thing on the internet where it's like super kind of not realistic looking, but like it's like the way that you can grab people and like stab them and stuff. I don't know what game it is.
It's a murder simulator.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I keep seeing like all these videos of this like one game or something where it's like you can like throw your gun in the air and catch it and stuff. I don't know. What
Tons of VR games you can do that.
I don't know.
man.
I have no idea. I don't play them, but I would.
Dude, you got it. I think you could get it going on this laptop. I'm not sure.
I feel like virtual reality games are gonna like ruin humanity. So I'm just gonna kind of like opt out of it for now.
No, dude, it's the best way to just forget you're a real person who's alive.
Exactly. You'll just live in limbo forever and end up like the StarCraft Koreans.
Just slowly.
Just slowly, just like forgetting to eat, and then like you just die because you've played video games for so long.
I want to play a horror game in VR. I think it'd be a good way to make a horror movie too.
There's the Resident Evil 7 is in VR.
Is that in VR?
Yeah, I've got a PS4, but I've got it on PS4, but it is in VR.
Isn't it on the PSVR?
There's a difference.
Well, there's PlayStation VR.
I thought like maybe you just like plug in the VR thing into the PlayStation.
No.
You have to like buy a whole separate PlayStation VR thing.
Yeah. There's like 8 competitors and nothing's cross-platform. It's horrible.
What's the best one? The Oculus? Is that the best one?
I think the HTC. God, they have a new one. The one I have is the HTC Vive, and then they made like a newer one than that. That's the best,
And
where
they
it has
don't-
the individual finger controls, so you can like close your hand or hold up specific fingers.
But they don't all share the same games or anything?
I think they're trying to now. They have this thing called Open XR, if you really want to get into the programming side of the podcast, which is sort of an open source platform that everyone should be sharing. Because I think when all these companies were starting up, they thought VR is going to be the next huge thing. We need to be competitors. We need exclusive titles. But most people don't have a VR headset because they're like $3,000 and it's for a video game, so people don't want to spend that. So their market share is way smaller than they thought. So now they're consolidating all this. The good news for people in our industry is that a lot of it's now compatible with video editing software. Like Premiere has a open XR thing, so you can edit videos with your VR headset on.
Whoa.
Blender has this awesome open XR thing where you can walk around your 3D scenes. And so a lot of modeling in Blender is done with sculpting, where you take brushes and get really realistic characters, like add wrinkles or brush out cloth and stuff like that, and you can go in actually in 3D space with your headset on, do brushwork and sculpting and really kind of change stuff up. So I think it's going to be the future for production for stuff like us.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I was gonna just get ready to ask you, like, what do you think would be the next, besides gaming, like, what's the next useful thing for it? And it's like that sounds like that, like creation, like, you're just like in a world where you're like creating your own thing, but you like don't have to leave because you're like inside of it.
Yeah.
That would be so weird.
And you're not restricted by a screen. It doesn't matter how big a screen you have, Premiere Pro or any video editing software, there's just too many dials and knobs. It's going to fill up the screen. If you have your whole room as dials and knobs, dude. And AR is the next big thing for like architecture.
I heard AR-15s are bad. I heard they're really mean.
I've been trying to learn. I actually got an AR app that I've been trying to learn how to make stuff with. And Cassie, we built her a desk from like different IKEA parts, and we were going to put in shelves. And I walked around the room with my phone and did like an augmented reality scan. And then I took the 3D objects and I put them in there as I wanted the desk to be. And I would hand my phone to Cassie and she could look through the phone and see the desk, where it would be in 3D space, and walk around it. Whoa. And she could get an eye for the design. And I know people are already doing that, like, oh, see what this paint color would look like on your walls, or see what our new furniture would look like in your living room. And there's got to be a way for us to sell something like that. Like, I think AR architecture is going to be big.
What does AR stand for?
Augmented reality. So VR is the virtual reality. AR takes like, it's like those Snapchat filters, you can make the little guy dance on your table. Mm-hmm. That's AR, where they just bring it into the real world.
Okay.
But augmented. And I think,
Think of like how many people are going to like trip out from that stuff.
Dude, it's going to be bad.
If you like live in that world for too long, you're going to like come out and you'll be like, oh, there's that like dude, the little guy my avatar, running around.
Well, I've run into walls and stuff working in VR where I just like, I'll fallen over, like I'll try and lean on a chair that doesn't actually exist because I forgot I'm in VR.
It's gonna be a real problem here pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, when they get those contacts that can display images, you have AR displayed on your contacts.
Oh.
It's gonna be the death of us. You won't know what's real and what's fake.
We're gonna be like those old dudes. Like when we're older, we're gonna be like, I remember the days. I think I said this last week too, but it's just kind of something I've been thinking about. And it's like we're gonna be like, I remember when we all had to sit in the classroom, and we didn't get to learn on them fancy screen things y'all got.
Well, just think when you're 75 and you pop in your government mandated contacts that have AR technology in them, and you have the chip in the back of your head that tells you how to vote, and you look over at your wife and you're like, don't like what I see, I'm going to turn her into Natalie Portman from 55 years ago, and then boom, instead of seeing your wife, you now see Natalie Portman.
So are you like trying to convince me that I should be okay with it? Because that does not sound very horrible. I'll tell you what, the government can tell me however way to vote, however long, as long as I get to like feel good and like
as long as you get your feel good,
as long as I get to do things that make me feel good. I don't care what they tell me to do.
I'm just gonna play Voting Simulator on November 3rd.
I won't actually own guns. In my like AR thing, I'll just like have a gun leaning against my my window or something. It'll make me feel safe.
Any criminals, if they come up and they have their contacts in, they'll see that you have a gun and they'll run away.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
You think they're like all going to be like interconnected like that?
Oh yeah, we're all going to be interconnected. We're reaching a singularity, Jordan.
Oh, dude,
we're going to lose humanity.
I can tell. I've been watching TikTok. A lot of people are doing a lot of the same videos. I don't understand like where they think that they're original or something.
We are this close to the space baby from 2001: A Space Odyssey. The next step.
Are we gonna go through the interstellar book world, portal world?
Get me started on Interstellar.
Are we gonna transcend time and love and space?
Love is the only thing that transcends space and time. Don't let me go, Murph. Even though I've already gone and I know I'm gonna go.
Oh God. Are we? Oh God. It's gonna get there.
Oh yeah. I'm excited.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds horrifying.
I'm excited for the apocalypse, man. We're gonna get so many cool things to do between now and when they kill us all.
Well, I mean, I've got like a good amount of resources. I could probably make a good like raider bag. Maybe like Peru, but I don't feel like it would take a long time for I think things around like in my area to really just like get way out of hand.
Oh no, they're not going to get out of hand. They're going to get like into hand. Things are going to get more and more controlled. You're going to be in the Matrix tub. That's the apocalypse. It's not going to be like rioters and looters.
But that sounds like so much more fun.
No, the Purge would be fun. You're not going to get that. You're going to get like, oh, I don't even know I'm in the Matrix. That's what.
We're going to be like warranted to kill people that we don't. Oh my gosh. Like this person bad, this person evil.
If you had the Purge privileges for one night, what would you do with them?
I'm not going there.
Everyone else gets them. What are you going to do with your Purge privileges?
I'm not going there. I don't know. I would think I'd have to like grow up with the Purge to like think about what. I don't know what I would do.
You want to commit like financial crimes?
But like you only get one day. The financial crimes take a long time.
Insider trading is what I'm going to do all day.
You're just gonna that one day, and you can't get in trouble for that one day. So like, I thought it was like you don't get caught.
No, there's no ramifications for what you do during the Purge.
So you can't get in trouble later on for what you do.
Yeah, no, and people might go get revenge, but then they can get arrested. And they focus on violent crime in the Purge, but there's a ton of great crimes you could commit. Like, I don't think I'd pay parking meter.
I think that's fair.
Go steal from Lion's Choice?
You shouldn't have to do that anyway.
We could break into a Lion's Choice and steal all the roast beef.
I would... what would I do?
All the cheddar cheese sauce.
I would, want to plan a really intricate heist.
And then execute day of the Purge?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think, a very, executed, like you ever see the movie, The Heat? Something, some kind of, heat, whatever, heist. And, or what are some other heist movies that are...
Ocean's 11.
Well, yeah, but that one's not as fun. Not as many people die.
Yeah.
I'd want something like The Town.
Dog Day Afternoon.
I don't know what that one is.
You haven't seen best heist movie ever made. Well, it's not really a heist.
Or what the Italian Job, except they don't use guns. They use Mini Coopers.
Mini Coopers. Yeah. But you'd have to compete with other people trying to heist that place and also kill you because it was legal for them to kill you.
Oh, dude. This is too confusing.
All your heist friends, by the way, once you get all the money, could just shoot you in the face and then take the money.
Are you friends with people during the purge?
I mean, are you going to plan a solo heist? You need a wheelman, you need a tech guy in the van with a laptop.
Dude, Tesla's going to take care of all that for us.
Okay, so you have your smart car is going to help
The
you.
smart car and my smartphone is going to be the brains of the operation.
It's going to help you rob a Target.
He's going to be the Seth Green
Seth
of my Italian job operation.
I think I'd steal the nuke codes. I'm going to launch a nuke on the purge.
What would you do like around your home, or your area? I don't know, like what?
Dude.
Maybe like rob a gas station. I don't know what I would do.
I've been wanting to put an egress window in my basement for over a year now. You need a permit to do that. I think I'd go ahead and do that on Purge Day.
Yeah, you just do like the most money. The county says I gotta do this, but I'm just gonna not listen to the county on Purge Day.
I'm gonna move my fence like 5 feet into my neighbor's yard and create an easement.
And you can't, and you won't get ramifications.
There's nothing you can do about it. I did it during the purge, losers.
You just go in there. You hack into this whatever the zoning files, and you change the zoning of your property.
Yeah, dude, the purge is.
There you go. See, that's the financial stuff. You're talking about. It's like you just change the zoning, and it's like, oh, your property is actually now mine. Sorry,
I own everything.
You actually should have to pay me now. Sorry you weren't smart enough on the purge. You were out raping and raiding, and I was like actually doing like money moves during the purge, you idiot.
Killing your neighbor is fun for like an hour. If you expand your property, you get to enjoy it for years.
You can literally kick them out on the street.
How's that file transfer doing?
It's done.
All right.
So I think we're going to call it, and thanks, Stevie, for hanging out while we do file transfers.
Thank you for having me. I'm hoping some of this was useful.
I think it's all great. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, bro.
Oh, take her easy there, Pilgrim.
Boy, I got vision and the rest of the world wears bifocals.
Well, son, since you haven't learned to respect your elders, it's time you learn to respect your betters.
It is, I think, going to be a very harsh and unpleasant kind of business, and will, I think, require an extremely harsh and unpleasant kind of man to see to it.
I'm your huckleberry.